We got stuck.
Fahad, where are we? There's a tree and 30 degrees outside. Where are we? We're stuck at Treak Cliff Cavern.
Hello and welcome back for yet another video on adventures and experiences. Today we are in Peak District and today is an exciting one. Today we going to a cool place and we need that because it's very hot today.
When we say cool, we mean the temperature as well.
Oh, temperature, not cool as in awesome.
Well, maybe.
Well, it is awesome.
We've never been, so we don't know what to expect, so we'll take you with us. But today, you know we live in England, right? And what do people know in general about England? That it's cold and rainy. But not today. How many degrees we have today?
Today we have 32 degrees Celsius.
32 degrees. That, for some of you might think, is nothing. But that is the equivalent of probably 40 or above in parts of Europe and other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to a place. We didn't say the place, did we?
No.
Okay. Should I tell you?
Yes.
We're going to a place called Treak Cliff Cavern.
Uh-huh.
And I have read online that there's a constant temperature of 10 degrees Celsius.
Yes.
Guess what? We have to take jackets with us. And we have to take jackets with us. So we're going to go from 32 to 10.
Yes.
And we'll...
Are you looking forward?
Very much.
Yes, let's do this. You can see Alex's face is red.
It's already red just by being in the car in the sun.
Yeah, it's very hot.
Tanned in different areas.
And if the lightning is bad, just excuse us. It's very hot in here. All right.
Very hot.
See you in a bit.
See you. Okay, let's start climbing, going up the stairs. So the cavern is open daily from 10 a.m. all year. You have various facilities and information available in foreign languages. Oh, it's so narrow. Okay.
Yeah, that is it. We are in a cavern. It's very cold in here.
We have just entered. Immediately we had to put our jackets on. Wow, we have to mind our heads. Oh, it's so... it's narrow and low. Let's see, we're gonna get to a part where hopefully it's a bit bigger.
There is a tour. Let's play it.
My name is Vicky Turner, and I am third generation of the Harrison
mind your head.
family who have operated
Mind your head, it's very
Treak
tight.
Cavern continuously since 1944.
Wow. They give us this app, and what we need to do is listen to the tour.
Very low and narrow in places.
Look, did you see the steam?
Wow.
It's narrow and cold.
What?
It's narrow and cold.
Yes. Wow.
And humidity. Gosh. Oh, I can see. It's gonna get a bit bigger. We're gonna go into a tunnel now. So if you see here, behind me, we're going into a tunnel.
By Gary Ridley, miner and cavern manager. He wanted to try out a new piece of mining equipment called a rock chainsaw. In order to use this, he needed good light, a constant supply of water, and to be able to stand on a stable footing.
It's wet in here.
He chose this area because he could stand on the steps close to the ground.
So this is one of the places, this is the only place in the world where you can now still find the blue John stone, which is a rare semi-precious mineral, semi-precious stone. If you actually Google that, it is the only place in the world here in Castleton.
Wow.
We showed a cut and polished slice of the new vein to Dr. Trevor Ford, who at the time was the world expert on Blue John stone, and he identified it as a different vein, unlike any of the other 14 veins already named. Trevor confirmed this was the first new vein to be discovered in over 150 years, and made the total number of named veins on Blue John to be 15. It's named the Ridley Vein after Gary, the miner who discovered it. This colloidal calcium was formed by the disruption of the crystals during their formation by low natural radiation coming from the limestone and shale rocks surrounding the mineral veins of Treak Cliff. The areas of highly concentrated radiation minerals at Treak Cliff match with areas of the Blue John deposits, so they are very likely to be the cause of the purple colour.
So that place there is called like that after a miner, someone who worked in the mines and discovered it. Okay, now we're heading towards the fossil cave. I can see that in front of me.
It's very slippery.
What's interesting about the fossil cave? What does it say on the app?
So, we're going to play the tour of the fossil cave right now. And let's hear about it.
Let's hear about it.
1 second.
This is the fossil cave. If you look above your heads, you can see where the fossils have formed in the limestone. Now, the limestone of Treak Cliff started to form 330 million years ago, when this area of Britain was much closer to the equator, and this whole area was a shallow, warm, tropical lagoon. Treak Cliff was part of a coral reef, like the Great Barrier Reef in Australia today. Little sea creatures with shells were living in the sea, and as they died, their shells fell to the bottom of the ocean and gradually, over time, built up. Eventually, the weight of all these little shells and stone that we see today. Some of these creatures were preserved whole, and you can see them up on the ceiling. Fossils that look like polo mints or Cheerios. These are the stems of fossils called crinoids that lived all those years ago. Crinoids are part of the coral family and are star-like creatures with a stem. These are still around today in the tropical seas nearer the equator. The old miners called these fossils Derbyshire screwstones because they look like nuts and bolts. The other fossils around here are brachiopods and productus. You can see more of them in the museum. Some of the limestone slope of Treak Cliff forming what geologists call a boulder bed. Now these are massive boulders.
Okay, let's going up some more stairs now. Need to be careful with the head because it's actually very low. The stairs are small but steep. And luckily we have the handles to hold on to. And I can see drips of water. Wow. Let me show you what I can see.
Looking downwards now, there is a muddy slope leading to a small chamber.
Caution, uneven floor. Yeah, that's very true. Okay.
John vein called the Upper Treak Cliff Blue. Miller's vein is quite different.
Oh, the lights just turned on. Wow. This place here is called Witch's Cave.
We are here now, and apparently these caves, which I will show you now. These two caves, apparently they were joined in from two different people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they came to an agreement about,
Merging them?
merging them, yeah. But there were two different caves here.
Wow. They did a good job at merging them together.
So let's go to the next chapter.
Welcome to the Witch's Cave. The reason behind the name is because was when the miners were setting up electric lighting. Just by chance, one of the light bulbs was set up around a corner, which meant that when the light was switched on, it cast a shadow of a witch on a broomstick. Look at the picture on your phone and see if you can find where her shadow is on the wall of the cave. So this is the chamber that has produced a large amount of Blue John stone from Treak Cliff Hill. But you can still see plenty in here. There is Blue John stone all over the ceiling and the walls. Ahead of you, you can see the Blue John pillar and the Blue John pipe vein and a crystal pocket of the upper Treak Cliff Blue vein. You can see the crystals just as they finished forming 240 million years ago. They're all part of the cliffside mine, which was working from the mid-1700s. So we'll skip on 200 years, and at the turn of the 1900s, the Blue John ornamental industry was declining, and along came the First World War. Blue John was then valued for its properties of the common minerals fluorspar, which was used in the steelworks in Sheffield to make ammunition for the war effort. Large excavations started on the hillside above, removing large quantities of Blue John using explosives, and at one stage in 1921 they discovered a bone cave, the remains of 3 people who were buried on Treak Cliff over 5,000 years ago. You can see their bones in the museum after the tour. The miners continued with the explosives, and then in 1926 they revealed a hole into a passageway which they explored by letting themselves down with a rope. Here they discovered all the amazing stalactites and stalagmites that we'll see further on. The same miners continued their work into the 1930s and found some wonderful big pieces of Blue John, which they didn't want to be wasted in the steelworks. It sank into the clay bank, and when the miners came back to retrieve their stone in 1932, they couldn't find it, so they started to dig down and search for the stone. Once they'd found it, they realised they had also discovered a passageway which created an easier way through to the stalactite caves.
Let's head on. The next part. Oh, wow. I cannot wait to show you this. This is called Aladdin's Cave.
Miners discovered these caves in 1926, but they didn't enter the same way that we have just come through. Instead, high up in the passageway on your left was where the miners made their way in by blowing a hole accidentally in the roof from outside. Until the cave opened to the public in 1935, the hole in the ceiling was the only way in and the only way out, so you had to be very fit and able to climb up and down. They descended the 200-foot drop by coming down on a rope, holding candles in their teeth. When they reached this beautiful array of stalactites and stalagmites, they thought it looked like a pantomime setting, which is why they named it Aladdin's Cave. On your right, you will see a group of stalagmites, 111,000 years old, which we call the Seven Dwarfs. Feel free to take advantage of the photo opportunity where you can sit next to the formations, but please don't climb on them. Happy is the big one by the steps, and Grumpy is the lumpy one in the middle. See if you can spot the others. Over time, this collection has shifted down on the bedrock, because in order for these stalactites to form, there needs to be a stalactite dripping water from above. As you can see, there are no stalactites above them anymore, which tells us that they're not in their original position. Now as you move on through the passage, look up at the ceiling and you can see where the meltwater streams continued eroding through the cave system.
Wow, can you see on the top? You know, the cameras don't give it justice, you know?
Should we go to the next place? Next
Yeah.
chamber? For the next one, the church fairly long.
Okay, perfect.
This chamber we call Fairyland because of all the glistening, sparkly calcite formations here. There are lots and lots of stalactites which all form from the rainwater. As it drips down onto the floor of the cave, it deposits a little piece of the calcium carbonate that it held in solution, which starts to form a stalagmite. These are the formations growing up from the floor. Then as the water drips from the ceiling above, it forms a stalactite, which are the ones hanging down. This dripping process continues over thousands of years, and eventually they grow into what's called straw stalactites that are long and thin. The straw stalactites are hollow, and as the water runs down inside, the stalactite fills up. Then when it's full, the rainwater runs down outside the stalactite, making it wider and bigger. In this cave, the formations are a beautiful orange colour because of the amount of iron absorbed by the rainwater as it works its way through the soil. Before you move down into the final chamber, check for other visitors coming up. Use the handrail and the hand chain provided. We call this chamber the Dream Cave because of the sheer amount of beautiful stalactite and stalagmite formations that you can see in front of you. There are many different shapes that you can use your imagination to make out formations. The temperature down here is a constant 11 degrees centigrade, and the stalactites here grow best with a drip rate between 6 and 8 drips per hour. Another nickname for this chamber is a worm's eye view of a carrot field, again because of the iron that colours the stalactites so orange. There are also little curved stalactites that look like hooks, and some going off at an angle. These are called helictites. Possibly 3 streams of the glacial meltwater combined up there, fiercely swirling around and eroding the big boulder now in front of you, causing it to fall from the ceiling. Scientists have very carefully measured it and calculated that the boulder has fallen from up there. Unfortunately, that boulder blocks the way ahead for visitors.
Wow, why do I feel that this looks like a head? Can you see here the eyes, the nose, and the mouth? Do you guys see the same thing, or is it just me?
Wow, can't believe it. We saw a face in a cave.
Even better on yours.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like a person.
How?
If you look up there,
Yeah.
the mouth is like, and the eyes like,
Yeah.
kind of like that. I don't know. I'm just trying.
Now you've reached the end of the tour, it's time to make your way back to the exit by retracing your steps.
Alex. Yes. It's they're closing. It's 5 o'clock.
Oh no, it's almost closing time. If I had said, Alex, it's closing. So now we have to go. This is an amazing place. I like how cold it is. Okay, we need to exit now. We need to exit now. It's closing time. Do 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 do.
I left Alex in the cave. I left her in the cave. Bye, Alex.
What better exercise is than taking the stairs? Hi, Fahad.
Right now, we're gonna have to exit. Let's exit this tunnel. Let's do this.
Exit time. Wow. I can hear my shoes on the floor.
Mind your head. It's very short.
Okay. The brightness. Yeah. Okay. Are we stuck?
Oh my god, we got stuck.
Da da da.
Look at the spider above you.
Wow. Whoa, whoa,
Another
whoa.
one.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god. Wow.
Wow, there's
Oh my
another
god.
one. Look at there's more of them.
Oh, by the way,
We're trapped in the doors.
with spiders.
With spiders.
No, do a zoom so people can see how big it
Oh
is.
my god.
I was just about to hit my head to literally hit.
Dun dun dun. That's a huge spider. Just a comparison. This is my finger.
Thumb, yeah. That's your finger. Oh, it gives me the shivers.
Yep.
Okay, I prefer to be outside in the heat than with you guys. So I've just locked the door.
There was no handle.
Fahad, where are we? There's a tree. And 30 degrees outside. Where are we? We're stuck at Treak Cliff Cavern. There's a sheep there. Bah. Bah.
Wow, wasn't that magnificent?
It was.
It was amazing. The rocks were big, it's deep, and definitely high.
High and cold.
Listen, one thing I know for sure. The camera didn't give it justice.
It didn't do it justice for sure. What did I do?
While we're doing the outro, Alex just stepped on...
Manure. Okay, let's just call it manure. But guess what? It's 2022 and we all like organic stuff, right? So here we go.
Right.
Probably not able to see my shoe.
Take two. It is the end of the video. And we have to include the trip of today.
Yes.
I think the sheep just
agrees that it was great.
agrees. It was a massive cave inside. It was very high and it was majestic. I think this is the word that comes in my head, is majestic.
Yes.
This
and
is-
we've seen caverns in our experiences so far.
Yeah,
This was really, really majestic.
absolutely.
And I think the videos, they don't do it justice.
No,
You have to come here.
you have to come
The
here.
best, I think the top fact of this place that
Yeah.
you have to come,
Yeah.
if you love minerals and jewelry
Yeah.
and precious stones,
Yeah.
you have to come here to see the Blue John stone, because it's the only place in the world.
Yeah.
It's
Now-
as simple as that.
We haven't done the class tour where they
the guided
you
tour.
guided tour where you can
Oh.
polish your
Yeah,
own
yeah.
stone. We haven't done that. We have done the self-guided tour,
Yes.
which they give us a phone. And they don't give us a phone. You install an app.
It would be great if they gave us a
If
phone.
you give us a phone, wow, you should come here. They give you a free phone. No, you install an app and you play.
Yes, we can
Yeah, I'll show you
Yeah.
like this.
a little
Yeah.
closer. Yeah, like that.
Perhaps we can include the app.
Yes, the name of the app, we'll include that in the description
Yeah,
down below.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely I loved it. I enjoyed my day.
too.
It was majestic. I learned a lot. And do I recommend? Yes, I absolutely recommend you should come here.
And I would say definitely if it's a warm day, if you want to cool yourself down,
Listen,
definitely come.
if it was hot, you just come.
Yes,
because it's
any
cold.
day when it's hot
Yeah.
and you just want something
Yeah.
different, you want to cool down, come here.
Family, all type of size and shapes are all
Yes,
welcome.
yeah.
Kids are welcome.
Dogs are welcome on a short lead, and the best thing is that the staff are very, very friendly and very, very nice. Yeah,
100%.
They were very accommodating of
100%.
everything.
And
Yes.
because we go out and film and we go places, of course, to film for you guys. So hopefully you can enjoy the content, by the way. But because we go out and film for you, we always ask, hey, can we film? Over here, they're like, yeah, of course you can film. And even when we arrived, they knew we were going to film. So they said, okay, just to let you know, there are kids behind you, toddlers, so they may be loud. So I would recommend you go first.
Yeah, we'll
and
give it a head start.
we get a head start
Yeah.
because we're going to film.
Yeah.
I like this place.
Yeah.
Should you come here? 100%.
I
How
didn't
far you should come? If you live here, if you live 2 hours, you should come
If
here.
you live 2 hours away, you should. If you
Yeah.
live more than that, make a weekend out of it. Just
Yeah.
behind us, you have the town of a village of Castleton.
Yeah.
You can do hikes. You have Peveril Castle to explore. You can obviously go to Edale. You can go to
Yeah.
Lady Bow Reservoir, and we have a video for that with
Yeah.
the second largest reservoir. So obviously, if you live more than 2 hours away from Peak District, make a weekend out of it.
Yes,
You'll really love
yes.
it. You really love
Should
it.
you travel? Yes, you should travel. And trust me, if you see my other videos, you will know that in some videos I do say 45 minutes is the maximum distance you live
Yes.
from a place you should come. So if you have to travel over 45 minutes to arrive to the place, don't come. This one, I would say come even if you
Yes.
live 2 hours.
Yes.
Even if you live 3 hours, I should come.
Yeah.
Nice people. So, with this in mind, okay.
Last words?
Last words, and we'll leave you with those words, okay?
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll leave you with 3 last words. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Thank you very much. Bye. Goodbye. Au revoir. Nos vemos. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen.